Hello lovely, it's your girl Agape. Welcome back to my channel. Today's topic is about getting married. As you will recall, I met my husband in Enugu, the old Anambra state. And then I moved when the new state were created, and the old Anambra, Enugu part of it become Enugu state. And I moved to the new Anambra, and Awka is the capital, and I was staying in Awka. And I was still maintaining the relationship, and Stam was coming to see me, and I was going to see him. The point that we said, it's time to do the needful. So I didn't get him to propose and bend down as the case is today. He just said it when we went out, that it's time we get married. We knew we were going there. Knowing what is happening today with the proposal and everything, I could have loved to have that, but it wasn't something that was prevalent during my time. And so it's not a big deal. It's something we read in novels or see in films. We didn't think it was practicable, but today it's all over the world. But anyway, focus back on me. So we started planning on what to do, to go and see my parents. And so I went and told my mom first that there's somebody who is interested in marrying me. She was happy. I'm the only girl. I'm sure she has been preparing a long time for things to do on the day, or presents to give me. So, and then proceeded to tell my dad. And Sam did the same from his own side. And then the families we met, and they did what they call Ekwaka, to say their intentions to my family. After that, it was the dowry, and it was choosing between the traditional marriage or the church wedding. In Nnewi, we call it Akwanku. Most people in Igbo land call it Egbanku. So I told Sam, let's forget about the Egbanku and let's do the church wedding. And in hindsight, what I could have done what we could have done is to do it in a very low key, because what it meant is that you just bring all the requirements and give to your umunna, that is extended family of my parents, or my dad in particular. And then we won't do all the fanfare and all the expense and stuff like that. To them, you have done it because you've given them what they needed. But we didn't have that kind of information, and so we only went with the church wedding and said we would do the other one whenever. In Igbo land, they would like you actually not to do the Egbanku or the traditional marriage, particular with Nnewi. I don't know about any other place. Why they like it later is then you must have had children, and when you are coming down, it's not a goat. You are going to bring a cow. So no matter what, they know it's going to be done. Even if you are dead, your children will have to do it if your husband is dead by then. So it's something that will hang over your head. You must do it at some point, whether alive or dead. So anyway, we went with the wedding, and the wedding was in Enugu. We did a lot of planning. We did a lot of savings, but what I didn't want to compromise on was my wedding ring, which I still have 30 years on. And my cousin has handmade gold, and I said to Sam, I need my engagement ring and my wedding band made gold. He said, okay, well, you can have something small and later. I said, no, I'm not compromising on this. You can compromise on any other thing, not this one. I'm glad I made that. I took that stand because I'm still wearing it and it's still good. One of my friends was very helpful. Again, I've mentioned her before in one of the videos, Mrs. Ifediora. She said to me, why don't we plan and make some food for the reception? So I said, what ideas do you have? And he said, something that is filling, but also will not break the bank. And I said, okay. I said, what do you have in mind? He said, we'll prepare, there will be swallow. Anybody that is from Igbo land or Nigeria or that part of the world will know what I mean by swallow. And rice and all these things will still have to be done for my family, my husband's family and my family. But the general people that will come, he said, if we do salad, moi moi, that is filling. When somebody have it, they will be full and, they won't feel hungry, and then they will have a drink to go home after the wedding. And I said, okay. He said, buy the ingredients, I will make it and deliver. That's my contribution. I was very, very happy with that. So that was how the catering was taken care of. My mom, bless her, she's dead now, but anybody that knows her knows that her cake, she did home economics and she does a lot of wedding cakes. So I knew that one was in the bag. So she did my wedding cake. So that was taken care of. My wedding gown, I didn't want to make one because I thought after the wedding, what am I going to use it for? Then my cousin wedded 6 months before me, and I said, if you could lend me the wedding gown. I said, I will pay. He said, no, you don't have to pay me anything. Just do the laundry. Take it to dry cleaners after. And I said, oh, thank you. So that was how that one was sorted out. So the expense that was left was my bridal train. I had 2 bridesmaids, one little bride and one little groom. I didn't want to have flower girls. I just wanted a streamlined bridal train. Then I had my friend Uzoma. Remember her? She's niece to Sam, was my chief bridesmaid. She's always said, I will be your chief bridesmaid. And I was just thinking, maybe you'll get married before me. And she was adamant that she wouldn't. And she was my chief bridesmaid. She wedded a year or 2 after me. So that was how I sorted that. And so Sam had to sort his own side. He had his suit tailor-made and was very fitted and very, very, turned out very well. Then he had 2 groomsmen and they wore black suits. One of them was my late cousin, okay. So everything was set and we were ready. And the wedding took place in All Saints Church in Enugu. The reception was also in the All Saints Hall, which was very handy. We looked everywhere. Some of the places we went to, it was very costly. And then all of a sudden, a light bulb moment went off. And I said, do they have hall? And they said, yeah, they have hall and it's free. That is, it's not been taken up. So that was very good. So when people came for the wedding, they didn't have to travel again to go to the reception. And so a day before, we went with some of my friends, and we went and we decorated it with balloons and stuff like that. Even my car, my cousin, my distant cousin, gave me a Mercedes car with a driver. I decorated it myself with fresh flowers from my uncle's house. So it was a very organized, and we didn't spend a lot of money that was not necessary. The program was typed by Sam in the office, and it was then they use Stencil. So he wrote it out and we pinned it together, and then we gave it out on the day of the wedding. Why am I telling you all this? It's because a lot of people do not budget. They do things because other people are doing it. If we have been pressurized to do the ekwanku, then the wedding could have been much later. But we were able to organize ourselves and know our budget, know the amount of money that we have, and say, we can do this, we can do that. And thankfully, my parents were very understanding, and they didn't pressurize me or push me to do things beyond our means. Sam's parents were dead then, so he didn't have pressure, but we worked together to achieve what we want. So that was how our wedding went. We got a photographer that we paid for. We got an MC who is a friend to come and be the master of ceremony. We paid just a little amount of money. Otherwise, everything went well. My brother's friend, Chris Okachuku Akajugo, gave me a carton of wine. It was a big deal. So we had a lot of help from people, and it did go a long way to help us to plan our wedding. And it wasn't like a cheap wedding, or if you came to the wedding, people were screaming and saying, you know, where did you get the money? Where did you do this? But this is how we organized ourselves and did our wedding. So the moral of this story is, do what you can when you can, particularly when it comes to money. Do not over budget. Do not over borrow. Do not do things that will jeopardize you financially later, or cause the first major problem in your marriage. The Ekwanku was done in 2022 when my daughter was about to get married, because that's another snack. If you have a girl or a daughter and is going to get married and you haven't done your Ekwanku or the traditional marriage, it must be done first before hers. Otherwise, everybody will be in the queue. So it's not like we didn't have opportunity to do it all these years. It's just logistics. But then when it came to it, we said, well, now we have to really do it and put everything aside. And we did it before my daughters. Nothing is late. Every time you do something is the best time, provided it's not hurting anybody, it's not going to cause any major issues. Do things when you can. And you might even see that it turned out better than when you could have done it earlier. In this instance, this Ebanku is not a big deal. It's not something that is going to cause any problem, as far as you know that it will be done one way or the other. I even told my children, my male children, I said, if I'm gone and your dad is gone and it's not done, be rest assured that my family will be coming for you to do it. So as far as you put all these measures in place, then take your time, do things when you can. So that's how I got married, both traditionally and in the church. Obviously, in that time, there's nothing like honeymoon. So we didn't have any honeymoon. But I've had many honeymoons since then. Sam has taken me to a lot of places. We've been on holidays. And I thank God that all these things are things you can do later. It doesn't matter. So my story is my own story. Other people's story are their own story. I'm not saying that mine is an example or a benchmark for people. It's just that what I didn't do when everybody expected me to do it, which was not a crime, but I didn't do it. I eventually did it, and I had all these things done. I've been on many holidays with my husband, as I said, and we're living happily. We have our differences as husband and wife, but majority, it's been good, and I thank God. Been blessed with 3 children, a daughter and 2 sons. And my husband says our family is a work in progress, and that is what we are every day, trying to improve ourselves, but most importantly, God is our foundation. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, share, like, and thank you for all your support. Love you. Agape love always. Bye.